Friends, we will not pass by this way again. I don't know how you've been reacting to the price changes at your stores, the gas pumps. If you're anything like me, you probably had that sticker shock moment, and the natural inclination is to do nothing and hope things return back to normal, right? Hope things go back to the way they were. Have you ever sat around with folks who are older than you and listened to them tell you how much a hamburger cost or how much gas cost back in the 1930s or 40s or 50s or however old they are? These folks will tell you the stories of how little things cost. Can you imagine if they were to just go, well, I used to be able to get a hamburger for 25 cents. I can't imagine paying more than 25 cents for a hamburger. I'm going to wait until things get back to that. Obviously, that's something that would be foolish in the long term. But I think a lot of us are seeing the prices and are seeing those type of things, and that's a human natural instinct for us to hope things get better and kind of stop taking action. And we need to realize that though we can go forward in time, and prices could theoretically go back down if market forces happen in the right way, we can't go back in time. The opportunities that we had last week, last month, last summer, right? Last summer, I started buying up Keystone beef, right? Got a whole bunch of Keystone beefs. And the price just didn't change for months. And I started questioning myself, should I really be stocking these things up? And I was stocking it up at like $6.75 or something like that for the big cans. And man, they're well over $9 now at my store. I'm glad I stocked up on them, but at the time I was questioning myself, is the price really going to go up? And the answer was, I was seeing things on the ground. I was seeing what was happening. I was reading the tea leaves, so to speak, and it's like, yes, this is going to get much, much, much worse. After that, I started stocking up on those canned hams from Aldi. Every time I go in there and, oh, look, they have the canned hams, I pick up 3 or 4 of them every single trip. And I just stashed them. I have piles of them. And now they are quite a bit more expensive than they were. And that's just, we cannot go back in time to take advantage of the opportunities that we've missed. We can only look forward in time and try to understand what opportunities in 6 months we will really miss that we have right now. Like, talk to future you in 6 months, 1 year down the road. What will future you wish you had done right now? And that's why I was so eager to get all my fruit trees in the ground, because I know future me will be very, very happy that I got fruit trees. And he's going to be annoyed to death with me that I didn't get more, right? That's how it is. You know, future us is going to be upset that we didn't plant more garden, right? Future us may be upset that we did not stockpile more food. I remember this one time when I was backpacking on the Appalachian Trail, 2,000 miles from Georgia all the way up to Maine across the mountains. And one day, and this happened multiple times kind of thing. But I remember this one time where it was like I got up, I was in a wooden shelter, roof over my head. I was dry. My stuff was dry. I look out and it's just raining. It's just pouring. And it's just like, I don't want to go out into that. I'll get wet, right? Hopefully it will get better. And so I just stayed. I rolled over and just kind of got a little more sleep. And then later on, as the day wore on, it just kept pouring down rain. And I kept saying to myself, it'll get better. And I remember it was well past noon. And it just wasn't getting better. Now, this is back before, we all had cell phones out there on the trail, okay? I had no idea. I was just guessing at the weather. But everyone else had just walked off into the rain and just, they were going to just deal with it. And I was missing significant opportunities to make miles because I was just waiting and hoping things would get better. Eventually, I ended up having to go walking out into the rain. I got soaked and, just like everything else. But that's just... We can't go back to missed opportunities, and we can't wait until we have perfect information because we never will. What will happen next? I don't know. And so when I say food prices today, this is my best guess. Food prices today, we will not pass this way again. When it comes to food prices in dollars are going to continue to drop in value. Regardless of whether everything sorts itself out in time, we're not going to see the same prices for food in the future that we have today and in the past. Rising conflict. It looks like it's getting worse, but I fear we will not pass this way again, where we are so peaceful and living in security. Things are going to move in the wrong direction and continue to move in the wrong direction for a while. Food availability. If you've been trying to stock up, there's some sites, like if you go to the LDS sites, the LDS cannery online, most of their stuff is out of stock. You go to like a lot of these freeze-dried food companies, they've jacked their prices way up in order to just try to keep what they have in stock. But there's still a whole lot of outages of things that they just don't have in stock anymore. You just can't get things. But as bad as some things are in some pockets of food shortages in the United States and other countries, I would say that we will not pass this way again for a long time. Food shortages now are far, far less than what we'll see in the coming weeks and months to come. Folks, the prices you see now, the availability you have now, I believe these are opportunities that future you, future me, are going to regret that we didn't stock up more. Can we prepare ourselves for truth? Can we prepare ourselves for the truth that we cannot go backwards in time to seize opportunities that we miss? You have choices to make with your budget. I understand, and so do I. There's only so much money that we have, right? You can't just spend infinite amount of money to seize infinite opportunity that we have. You really do have to say, do I want to buy this or this? My budget needs to go to pay for electricity. My budget needs to go pay for gas. My budget needs to replace work clothes and all the other things that we have to pay day to day. And then when we have gone through the things that are necessary, there's only so much money there usually. But we have choices. You may be able to work some extra hours. You may be able to work a side job right now. You may be able to make money on the side, babysitting or pet sitting somebody's pets. Whatever you can do to earn extra income, that may give you the more money in order to purchase more things. Or you may be able to cut back your expenses. Things like eating out. Things like getting certain kinds of foods. Because most likely the food that you stockpile for your long-term food storage is probably a lot cheaper than the food that you eat day to day. That's for most people. Now, if you go out and buy the Mountain Houses and other name brand kind of freeze-dried stuff, okay, that's probably going to be more expensive than what you eat day to day possibly. But if you're just stockpiling rice and beans and canned goods and stuff like that from cheaper sources, that's probably going to be cheaper than what you normally eat. So if you chose to eat a little more of kind of long-term food storage type food more often, that might actually save you more money to spend on more long-term food storage. There's a lot of choices you have to make, and a lot of choices that I got to make, understandably. But It's that putting yourself in future you's shoes and saying, what will I regret not doing more of? What will I regret doing differently? Wishing I had done differently. We can't time travel. All we can do is look at the news events, look at the food shortages, look at the food plants that are burning down, look at the crises that are happening around the world where conflict is brewing between major powers out there. Militaries are on edge. What will tomorrow look like? Take steps to ensure your family's future. Do you have car insurance? Do you have homeowners insurance? Do you have renter's insurance? Most people do, right? Legally, you're required to do that in a lot of places for like vehicles and stuff like that. We have insurance because there could be some bad thing that comes down the pike that hits us right in the face, and we're going to need that assistance in that off chance that happens. But what we are facing now, it's not really a question of if something's going to happen. It's a matter of how intense it will be and what will it actually look like. I don't know. Will we have a 10, 15-year depression where nobody can find a job? There's food on the shelves, but nobody can afford it. Is that what we're going into? I don't know. Is it just going to be everything comes crashing down and nobody has gas to go down the street to even visit their neighbors or go into town, and you're just going to literally be cut off and on your own unless you have a horse and a buggy, right? Or a bicycle, folks, or a bicycle. Is that what's going to happen? I don't know. Is there going to be nuclear war? Is there going to be just a world war where your country is saying, hey, you need to turn in all of your scrap metal. You need to turn in all of your, any food that you have that's extra, right? That's what happened in World War II. That's what countries did in World War II. They said everybody needs to pool their resources and contribute to the war effort because this is so important to all of us. Think about this. If we're wrong, if things get better, prices come down, and your moment now of hardship because you made sure that you had enough money to spend on preps and all that kind of stuff and stocking up. If things come down, if jobs are so easy to get again and everyone's pay goes up through the roof, the stock market comes bouncing back, and food prices come crashing down, you'll feel a little embarrassed, right? You'll feel a little embarrassed, but you can still just eat all the food, right? I mean, it's not like you're really out any money. You just, maybe you can spend that money, on a down payment for a house, the money savings that you have. I don't know. But imagine we're right. And you don't stock up. You're going to be in great pain. You're not going to be like embarrassed. You're going to be in pain. When you go to the store and the can of green beans now costs $6 that you could have gotten for today for 60-some cents or 50 cents, that's going to be painful, really painful. You're going to feel really good about the food that you stocked up. It's not going to be an embarrassment thing. It's going to be a pain thing. And you, if you don't stock up now, could be in a real struggle. We're talking life and death, extreme difficulties, right? That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about like, oh, well, I'm going to look at my neighbors and go, haha, I have food and I didn't pay as much as you did, ha 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 ha. That's what things are like today. If these things come down the pike like they look like they're coming down the pike, there are going to be some serious situations where people are going to be begging you to take their children because they can't feed them, okay? We're talking about those type of times. In third world countries, they're already happening right now. So what do we do about that? We need to seriously consider what future us would really, really wish we had done. All right, folks, Make some smart choices out there. Do what you can. If you like this video, you might want to check out this video right over here talking about food shortages. Otherwise, I will see you later. Steve Poplar out.